you doing, all beautiful sons of bitches? It's your boy Backseater, and today, Dadseater is finally back from the store with the milk and cigarettes. I know you don't smoke, but that's part of the joke, but whatever. And today, we're reviewing one of Dad's favorite YouTubers, Matt Walsh, and he's with Daily Wire, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Okay. So basically, who better to react to fucking Matt Walsh than one of his biggest fans right here? So Dad, I sent you some questions before we hop into this, but basically just to get your perspective. So I send you 3 questions, and I'll probably have some more for you as we get into the video. But Dad,
Okay.
first things, what got you into Matt Walsh, and why do you think he's a good pundit on whatever?
I don't remember exactly how I was introduced to him. I believe I just stumbled across him. As you know, YouTube will send you other content.
You found him in the algorithm, basically.
Yes, correct.
All right.
And second part of that
was, and why do you think he's a good pundit on whatever?
I like his opinion because his views align with my feelings on many things. Um, he jokingly refers to himself as the dad of the internet, and I think his content and his opinion kind of mirrors that. He does have 6 children, and so I believe that kind of influences his opinions, as he is a husband and a father.
All right. Do you consider Matt Walsh to be a good media critic, Dad?
I do. Again, he has strong opinions about the things that he either likes or does not like. Now, these are opinions, of course, that he shares with his audience. Are those his opinions that are true to his heart? I have to believe that they are. But as you know, some people will say things to get likes and clicks. I don't think Matt's one of them. He seems to be have a very strong opinions about things, and I believe he's speaking straight from his heart.
All right. Do you consider him to be as good a media critic as he is a political pundit?
Yes, he's a good critic regardless of topic. I just watched him do a video about restaurants and why he feels the quality of service and product is on the decline in restaurants all across America, namely the chain restaurants. He claims that there are reasons that they just don't deliver the quality that they once did.
All right. And lastly, would you recommend other people watch his videos?
Of course I would. It depends on the type of content you're looking for. I believe one of the things I like about Matt Walsh is he does have a very dry sense of humor, and a lot of his comments you almost have to take with a grain of salt because he has a dry sense of humor. I have been known to laugh out loud on numerous occasions when Matt is delivering his remarks. I find him to be not only sarcastic, but it's a very dry sarcasm. And yeah, I very much enjoy some of his comments, especially when he gets off on sort of a tangent, if you will, because that's where his sarcasm really begins to shine. I have laughed out loud on numerous occasions at a lot of stuff I've watched. And I've watched Matt Walsh quite regularly over the years. I was introduced to his content. I was likely watching a Ben Shapiro video, as he's another member of the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
As is Michael Knowles, who's another guy I enjoy his content. Andrew Klavan is another. But I keep going back for Matt because of his dry sarcasm and his totally. I am in total agreement with a lot of the things and positions he says. Although when he starts getting into some of his real sarcasm, I know he's joking, and it's kind of hard to go along and nod in agreement with some of the positions when I know he's being super sarcastic.
Well, time to put all that stuff to the test now because I already watched this video. I only watched it like once, and it was like 3 months ago when he released it. But anyways, we're about to put that to the test now with this video, and oh geez, it's so bad. But anyways, let's just jump right into it, shall we?
This movie is outrageously, offensively bad.
Okay, already I can't take him seriously if he calls it outrageously and offensively bad. Like, come on, man.
You could make a case that it's like the worst film ever made.
Okay,
Well, despite...
bruh, no, bruh. It's like, yeah, like, oh yeah, because Revenge of the Sith is worse than Freddy Got Fingered. Yeah, totally, bro. Okay.
what my critics may claim, I think I am actually a good dad.
Like, is that something his critics always get on him about, Dad, for him being a bad dad? Is that?
I suppose I don't listen to much of the comments from his critics, as you call them. There are people who will say things, as you well know, just to see how you respond.
Yeah.
If they can get on your last nerve and see if you get agitated by comments like "you're a bad dad."
They're grade A instigators. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, anyway.
I love my kids. I make sacrifices for them. I sometimes even subject myself to unspeakable tortures for their sake. And that's what I did.
Really? You consider watching Revenge of the Sith torture? Well, if that's the case, best torture ever, I'd say. Anyway.
Over the weekend when I took some of the kids to go see the 20th anniversary re-release of Star Wars Revenge.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Yeah, so, Dad, I know you don't keep up with this crap, but Disney, for the 20th anniversary of this film, this year, I think it was this year, they re-released Revenge of the Sith in theaters, and my God, Dad, my side took a massive L that day because absolutely everyone, like everyone my age, everyone older, all the Star Wars fans who were still caught in the Disney Matrix, they all went out there and they saw this, and it's like we took an L that day because that was a Disney charity event. And everyone just basically gave Disney some money so they can make more fake Star Wars. It's like Dennis Green said, Dad, the football coach, like Dennis Green would say, it's like, we knew exactly who they were, and we let them off the hook, basically. Oh my God, it was a bad, oh my God, anyway.
Of the Sith in theaters. I hadn't seen the film since it first came out. And my initial experience with the movie was such that I had no desire to ever experience it again, but I didn't count on one day having children of my own who somehow would become diehard Star Wars fans. I don't know how this happened. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I didn't pass this fandom down to them. I don't come from a Star Wars family. My own dad was not a Star Wars fan. He was more of a Star Trek guy.
Oh, that explains absolutely everything. Because, Dad, I'm telling you, in my experience, Star Trek fans are really, really bad at critiquing Star Wars, because what constitutes good Star Trek does not constitute good Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? So now it all really makes sense, because if he comes from a Trekkie household, of course he's gonna judge Star Wars horribly. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I never enjoyed Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that I could never let myself go and do.
Yeah.
But I very much enjoyed the very first Star Wars movie, which is the only one I ever saw.
Yeah, for the record, Dad has only seen A New Hope in theaters, and that's it. He hasn't even watched the rest of the original trilogy. He hasn't watched the prequel trilogy with me. He hasn't read any EU material or whatever. He is by all accounts still a neophyte 40 years later. But anyway.
Guilty.
Yes.
That never really clicked with me either. I have no affinity for any sci-fi franchise with the word star in the title. I am, however, a fan of the actual stars. Why watch Star Wars when you can look up at the stars at night and see the great cosmic pageant that God himself has written, produced, and directed for us. That's what I've tried to tell my kids, to no avail.
Gee, I wonder why. Probably because stargazing is really boring to most kids. Like how old are his kids, Dad? Do you know?
At the time of this airing, I believe his two youngest ones were still toddlers. This looks like a pretty old.
That's pretty recent, Dad. This is about 6 months ago.
Oh, okay, my bad.
All right.
I want to say his kids are. He's got a couple that are near teen. He's got a couple that are probably around 10, and then he's got a couple twins that I believe are still in the single digits. 4, 5, 6 years old.
Yes, yeah, and so
to the best of my recollection.
Yeah, so no freaking wonder his kids find stargazing boring. It's like, sorry, old man, that they're not so old-fashioned like you.
I gave this speech to my son once, and he said, yeah, but God didn't make lightsabers.
Ha! Okay, that's a really good comeback right there. Whoever said that deserves a fucking medal, you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Oh my god, anyway.
And I said, okay, good point, but don't talk back. You're grounded.
What, you grounded him after that? Well, no wonder people think you're a bad dad if you said that. What the heck, man?
I doubt if he grounded his kid for saying that.
Okay, but if he seriously did, then yeah, dude, you ain't beating those bad dad charges anytime soon. What the heck?
Once again, sarcasm.
I know, but oh my gosh, anyway.
And in any case, whether through some sort of genetic anomaly or more likely through pro-Star Wars brainwashing from their mother, who my kids are now Star Wars fans. And
sounds more like you. Well, first of all, it sounds more like your wife is based more than you. Second of all, Dad, you know what he said? It's like, oh, they fell into it through the Star Wars brainwashing. This is exactly the same type of argument another YouTuber that I despise makes. His name is Cosmonaut Variety Hour. And Dad, if you don't know who he is, he basically made this one argument once where it's like, he's like, hey, everybody who saw the prequel trilogy got like subliminally brainwashed into liking the prequel trilogy, but somehow I'm the only guy who escaped the brainwashing because I'm smart and I had my brain turned on. He sounds exactly like that pretentious turd wad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, so basically what he's saying is that, oh, everyone who likes the prequel trilogy is just a brainwashed idiot. It's like, no, Matt, that's what you call the people who are fans of Disney Star Wars, not real Star Wars, you idiot. But anyway, I digress.
To see the third film in the prequel series in theaters, which has just been re-released, and so I agreed. And after suffering again through the entire 9-hour runtime, or what felt like it.
It's not, well, first of all, if it was 9 hours, then I'd be absolutely stoked for that, but it's not 9 hours. It's your average movie length. It's like, I think it's like just a little under 2 hours or so.
But did you hear his final comment? Or at least it felt like it.
Okay, well, even then, it's like, how do you get 9 hours out of 2 hours? Like, come on, man. That's like, that you know that reminds me of, Dad? That reminds me of like one of the matches at the first ever WrestleMania where King Kong Bundy defeated Special Delivery Jones, and that was a squash match. And yet, if you don't know, squash matches are where the wrestlers just absolutely dominate the opposition, basically. It's like they said that, hey, he defeated him in 9 seconds flat. It's like, no, he didn't. He defeated him in 24 seconds flat. How do you get 9 seconds out of 24 seconds? But it's ridiculous. Anyway.
I can confidently say that Revenge of the Sith is even worse than I remember, like a lot worse. I remember it as a boring, miserable film, but I guess I had blocked out many of the details, subconsciously attempting to save myself from reliving the trauma. This movie is outrageously...
all right, Dad, and I have to ask, what movies does he like? Like, I need a frame of reference. Like, what does this guy even like?
I don't know. I really don't watch him. I don't pay attention to his movie reviews.
Mm-hmm.
And he rarely shares that in any of the videos that I watch.
Mm-hmm.
He puts out about a 1 hour video 4 days a week currently, and it's rare when I see him comment on movies he likes or dislikes. It's very rare.
Mm. Well, so far the read I'm just getting from this guy is that he just doesn't seem to enjoy movies. Period. So far, from what I'm getting from this, but
Well, if he's anything like me, you know my feeling on that.
yes, yeah,
I am not in the movie fandom, and the last movie I saw that I really liked was Saving Private Ryan.
yeah,
And that's an old movie from way back.
yeah. Anyway,
Offensively bad. You could, and I'm not saying this for effect. You could make a case that it's like the worst film ever made. And sad to say,
I can name like 50 movies that are worse like right now, but I won't for the sake of time.
competing with more than one other Star Wars title for the top of that list.
Or which
Everything
one?
about it is bad, except the score. The score is pretty good, but not
Well,
enough.
there's one there. Congrats, one thing ever. Congrats, you liked one thing, Matt. How about you try a little harder to critique this movie now, beyond saying it's one of the worst ever. Please, please, I'm asking for you, man. Just give it to me raw, man.
Rescue the film. If John Williams made a score for a video of a dog taking a dump, it would be slightly more entertaining than it would have been without the score, but it would still be a dog taking a dump. And this film is the cinematic equivalent of that. First of all,
Yeah,
as many
sure,
people have pointed
pal.
out over the years, but I must reiterate, the dialogue is atrocious.
Okay, here we go. We're finally getting into this. The dialogue. Here we go. I'm going to guess right now that he's gonna pick a completely irrelevant line from somewhere in this movie, and he's gonna act like that's how the entire movie is. Because this is something that you see all the time from prequel haters, Dad, where they always try to knock the dialogue in this movie as being clunky, be it clunkily written or clunkily delivered by the actors, and they always point out one line as opposed to multiple lines and try to paint it as like that's how the entire movie is like. You know what I'm saying? Complete straw man argument. And I'm going to guess he's going to go down that route. Do you think he's going to do you think he's going to go down that route?
I think if he's calling it really bad, he should cite more than one example.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
George Lucas, it would seem, has never heard humans speak. He writes dialogue like I imagine an alien would write dialogue if the only thing he knew about the human race he learned by watching daytime soap operas. There is not one moment where the script reaches even like a C grade. It is the worst dialogue I've ever heard in a mainstream Hollywood film. It is shockingly bad.
Yeah.
Last summer, my kids used one of our phones to make a movie, as they called it, where they pretended to be pirates or something. And the dialogue in their 3-minute pirate movie was better than anything George Lucas came up with.
All right, Matt, let's put that to the test. Can you release it on YouTube so we can all see and judge it for ourselves? Because right now, Dad, that pirate video sounds more entertaining than this video right now. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Okay.
So just to give one infamous example.
All right, here we go.
Early in the film, Anakin, played with the charisma of a metal folding chair by Hayden Christensen, goes up to Padme, played by Natalie Portman, and says, "You're so beautiful." And then Padme responds, "That's because I'm so in love." To which Anakin says, "No, it's because I'm so in love with you." That is actual dialogue in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Join.
And it's a couple being romantic with each other. Like, what is the issue there?
You know, that's subject to personal opinion. And apparently, in his opinion, that's lame writing.
It's like has he never it's like, come on, Matt, you can't tell me that you've never talked to your wife that way. Like, come on, man.
It commits every sin of bad script writing. It is clunky. It's on the nose. It doesn't sound natural at all. Humans do not speak this way. Even humans in galaxies far, far away, unless they're living on planet Cheeseball in the lame dork galaxy. This is not how humans or any other species of sentient life forms speak or would speak.
Well, how do you know, Matt? Have you been to the Cheese Ball? Have you been to Planet Cheese Ball in the Dork Galaxy? How do you know they don't speak that way there? Have you been there, Dad?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, but no, seriously, it's like he's also This is also something I see a lot of people who bash the prequel trilogy do. They always pick out Anakin and Padme's dialogue together, and they always act like that's how the movie is. But here's the thing about Anakin and Padme that a lot of prequel haters like Matty Boy here don't realize. They're not the same kind of people like you or me, Dad, where, they pretty much are like, well, like, oh yeah, like we're pretty social. We go out day to day. We interact with people. Their situations pretty much prevent them from really doing that. You have Anakin, who's been raised by an order of emotionally stunted warrior monks, the Jedi, to basically always control your emotions, suppress them, etc., basically for your own good, the good of the galaxy. And then you have his wife, Padme, who also not also, but she's also been raised to be, sort of stunted that way, but only for the sake of her duty as Queen of Naboo and senator in the Galactic Senate, basically. So you have these two awkward people, and not only that, but they're in a forbidden romance, because remember, Dad, Anakin's the Jedi. They don't allow marriages and romances, unless you're Ki-Adi-Mundi, but that's a separate issue. They don't allow romances. And so not only that, they also have to hide their romance together. And in this film, Padme is pregnant and with kids on the way. And, the kids would eventually become Luke and Leia, as we know. So, of course, they're not going to sound like normal people in the real world. You know what I'm saying? And on top of all that, they also live in a galaxy, and these films take place a long, long time ago. So no wonder they don't sound like normal people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Anyway.
One of the most basic principles also of script writing is to show, don't tell.
Oh my God. Okay, Dad. I write my own stories, Dad, and I swear to God, I have been told that advice so much, and in practice, Dad, the show don't tell advice is super overrated, because sometimes, Dad, there actually are moments where you do gain more by being told stuff rather than showing stuff. Because when you're also writing a story, be it in a book or in this case a screenplay for a film, you also have to consider stuff like passage of time, pacing, and whatnot. And if you just show too much, then you kind of leave the audience with what the heck is going on. So basically what I'm trying to get at, there is a balancing act between showing too much and telling too much, but basically saying show, don't tell, that's just overrated as all hell advice.
Script writing 101. The absolute worst way to convey a character's emotions is to just have him say it. So a clever writer, or even just a professional one, knows how to bring us into the character's mind without having him broadcast it. And so if you're telling us if you're trying to tell us that Anakin thinks Padme is beautiful and Padme is so in love, there are like a million different scenes that any decently creative and literate person could come up with that get that message across. Instead, George Lucas just writes on the page, and then Anakin says, "You're beautiful," and Padme says, "I'm so in love," and Anakin says, "No, I'm in love," and Padme says, "No, I'm in love," and then they kiss, and then after they kiss, they both say at the same time, "I'm in love." And this way, the audience will understand that they're in love.
To sort of run contrary to his point earlier that no one talks like this, dude, there are people in reality who do say this to each other if they're a couple. You know what I'm saying, Dad?
Agreed.
I don't get why he's on this point. It's like, no one talks like this.
I mean, that's literally how the script was probably written. It was written like somebody was transcribing the off-the-cuff ramblings of a 5-year-old. The entire movie is like this. There is not one line of dialogue that sounds authentic, much less clever.
All right, okay, Matt, point out another one then. Go ahead, we'll wait.
And to make matters worse, the acting is uniformly bad.
He's not going to. See, I told you, Dad. The prequel haters, they always do that straw man right there. And you watch him more than I do, Dad. Does he do these straw mans often?
Again, he does not review movies. The videos I watch, he talks more about real life events, things that I can relate to,
Yeah.
things that you can look to and find out that these are valid points he's making about current events.
Yeah, but surely he doesn't straw man like this during those videos, right, Dad?
I don't catch it.
Okay, well, it's like, I don't know.
And in some cases, grotesquely bad. Now, granted, the actors were given the impossible task of delivering George Lucas dialogue, which is the modern film industry equivalent of like pulling the sword from the stone. There may be some actor out there in the world who can make this crap sound good, but he's never stepped forward. His existence is only a legend. Maybe Daniel Day-Lewis could do it. I'm not sure, but I do know that Hayden Christensen can't. Neither can Natalie Portman, Ewan McGregor, Samuel L. Jackson.
He thinks the whole freaking cast in this film sucks. Like, come on, man. Dude, even people who don't like the prequel trilogy or admit that it's not their speed, even they admit that Ewan McGregor puts in a good performance. Like, what the heck is this, man?
Terrible in this film. Even R2-D2's performance fell flat.
He doesn't even speak. What the heck are you talking about?
And uninspired. Reportedly, I read this, that George Lucas wanted to cast Tupac in the role that ultimately went to Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay. So all right. So he's not exactly wrong on that point, Dad. But yeah, that is a bit of trivia about this film. Yes, that rapper himself, Tupac Shakur, actually did audition for this film. But the thing is that we don't know well, not this film. He did Phantom Menace, more like. But we don't know exactly who he auditioned for, because the role of Mace Windu was done colorblind, meaning any schmuck who wanted the job could walk up and ask for it and audition. Basically, they weren't specifically looking for a black guy. But we do know that Tupac did audition for the film. We just don't know if it was for Mace Windu specifically. So he's not wrong there, but he's just also not 100% right. But anyway.
Which makes Tupac's death perhaps a blessing in disguise. At least he was saved from the embarrassment of being in this movie.
Bruh! What the heck? What?
Again,
what?
That's one man's opinion, whether you agree or not.
Dude, that is genuinely messed up. It's like, hey man, you died. That means you didn't get to be in this film. That's a blessing in disguise right there. What the heck, Matt? Oh my, moving on.
So we've established that the acting and dialogue were terrible. Many apologists for the film, and I've heard this
yes, of course, people like me are apologists, of course.
In his opinion.
Yesterday, because I tweeted about this, and a lot of people were very upset, as you would expect, that I thought the movie was bad. But what I found is that a lot of people were conceding both points, but then claiming that the movie is still good. Now, of course, saying that a movie has...
Okay, can we see those tweets, please, sir? I'd like them. It'd help back up your point.
Bad acting and bad dialogue, but is still good, is like if you ask someone their opinion of the local Italian joint, and they say, well, the customer service is terrible and the food tastes bad, but overall, it's actually a great restaurant. By definition, it cannot be a great food service establishment if it fails in the areas of both food and service.
Based on what he's saying about those people in the tweets and his metaphor at the restaurant, it sounds more like a restaurant that tried its really hardest, but with like a but it had like a faulty presentation, or kind of fumbled the ball here and there, but its pros outshined its cons, basically. That's the impression I'm getting. So I don't know why he's saying it's like, he's acting like the people who made those tweets are like in denial or something, and I don't know.
A film cannot be good if it's poorly written and poorly performed. What's left to make it good? What could possibly rescue a film if both the guy who wrote it and the guys who acted in it have failed in their jobs?
Well, you said that the music was good, so there is that by your own admission.
In a world that constantly
okay, hang on. Now we got an advertisement here. Where is it? Where does this end? Okay, here we go. Darn it. Yeah, sure, let's interrupt this video. Yeah, anyways, we interrupt this Matt Walsh video to bring you some woman playing piano with her toes. Anyway.
You might want to say, well, the acting sucks and the script sucks, but at least the action is good. I would submit that a poorly written and poorly performed film with good action is still on balance a bad film. But as it happens, this movie doesn't have good action scenes.
Oh, that is some heresy right there, Dad, because even the people who don't like the prequel trilogy admit the saber fights in it are good. That's some heresy right there, you know what I'm saying?
Action scenes are long and busy and lots of things happen in them, but they are not good. I mean, the fight choreography is terrible. It's clumsy and nonsensical and uninspired. Many of the Jedis who are supposed to be like intergalactic ninjas, like the Karate Kids of the cosmos or whatever.
Okay. They're not ninjas. You know, as cool as that sounds, the Jedi are not ninjas. I explained it earlier. They're warrior monks. I don't know where he got the ninjas and the Karate Kid from. Dad, have you ever, Dad, I know you've watched the original Star Wars. Did you watch that, and when you hear Obi-Wan explaining to Luke the legends of the Jedi, did you think, oh yeah, the Jedi are ninjas?
I didn't know what a ninja was back in 1977.
Anyway.
Shockingly bad reflexes. I mean, Revenge of the Sith features some of the slowest fight scenes I've ever seen. There's a scene where Emperor Ovaltine, or whatever his name is.
Oh my god, it's Palpatine, you idiot. It's like, I don't, how do you screw that up? Like, he had to have watched the film beforehand for making this, so how did you forget the main bad guy's name?
I believe it's, again, sarcasm, bro.
Anyway.
Who I guess is not an emperor yet in this, but he fights off a group of Jedis who came to apprehend him, and the actor who played Ovaltine was in his mid-60s, and he moves like it. And yet, despite swinging the lightsaber with all the speed and vigor of a retiree playing softball, he still easily dispatches like multiple Jedi warriors who are supposed to be, you know, the greatest warriors in the universe, and in just with a casual, you know, flick of the lightsaber, they're dead. That's it. And the fight scenes are also funny because they use stunt doubles.
Okay, so his main criticism so far was one fight scene that involved Palpatine taking out 3 background characters who in Star Trek terms would be red shirts, and he takes them out really quickly, and then he has one big showdown with Mace Windu, who's gotten a lot of screen time and characterization. What's the issue then? And as for him moving like an old man, it's more so like the power he puts into his strikes that are more devastating than anything. But anyway.
CGI to have the Jedis do flips and random like mid-air 360 corkscrews like Simone Biles for no obvious strategic reason. But for the rest of the time, they have the actual actors, I guess, doing the moves. So we're treated to the spectacle of fighters who can jump and flip like Olympic gymnasts. But when they're not jumping, they move like these clumsy old dudes. So the action isn't good. Script isn't good. You know.
Okay, well, Palpatine wasn't doing any of those flips earlier, so I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway.
Acting isn't good. What's left? The story? Could we possibly say that although the acting is bad, the dialogue's bad, the action's bad, at least the story was good? Well, no, we can't, because unfortunately, this ship hit multiple massive narrative icebergs, so that by the end of the thing, the thing was so riddled with holes that it could just barely stay afloat. So let me give you just 2 examples, both from the end of the movie.
All right.
In the climactic battle sequence between Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which takes place on a lava planet for some reason. I don't remember why they went to a lava planet.
Because that's where Sidious told him to go kill the separatist leaders?
Maybe there was a good reason. Okay, why would anyone go to a lava planet?
For the separatists leaders to hide out there, and because Sidious told them, yo, I'm sending my buddy over there, his name's Vader, he's gonna take care of you guys, but it's actually just a ploy for Vader to kill them all. So so there is a reason given in the film why he sent them over there. I don't know why this guy's thinking like they just went there just because.
There are thousands of planets, and you can go to any of them faster than the speed of light. Why would
Well,
you?
not really faster than speed of light, because all right, this is a common misconception I see a lot of people make, but no, hyperspace travel is not literally well, it's close to it, but it's not literally traveling at the speed of light. It depends on the ship, the engine, and basically the actual distance of planet to planet. So no, it's not literally the speed of light.
Ever choose the lava planet for any activity? What possible activity why would you ever go to it? Why would anything ever happen on? Is it because Anakin was evil?
Well, also because symbolism, because it's basically supposed to be symbolism that Anakin is basically causing the galaxy to burn by siding with Sidious, falling to the dark side. So, of course, if you want to get that symbolism, you choose a lava planet, because lava is where everything is burning. Am I right, Dad?
Usually.
Yeah, anyway.
So when you turn evil, you suddenly develop an affinity for lava. Yeah, that is it. That's George Lucas's writing for you. Well, he's evil, so he must like lava.
Called symbolism. It's called, oh my god, a lot of ads in this time. But yeah, it's called symbolism. And speaking of, damn, now I'm hungry for a McAllister sandwich now. Oh, dude, I can't even drive. I don't want your cars. Okay, here we go.
Anyway, so they were on the lava planet fighting, and they were leaping from one piece of floating debris to the next, because that's how it works, right? Never mind the fact that if you jumped onto a piece of metal that was floating in lava, you would quickly burn to death. But that's not the point. The point is
oh my god, that is such a nitpicky nitpick. It's like, hey, the physics of the Star Wars galaxy aren't the exact same as our own. So what, my guy? Does it honestly ruin the movie and your immersion into the movie that much? Like, come on, man. Like, seriously, Dad, have you ever been bothered by, like, oh, the characters are standing so close to the lava, yet it's not burning them? Have you ever been bothered by that?
I do. I too nitpick movies and other films and constantly find myself saying that could never happen in real life.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
Scene ends with Obi-Wan Kenobi jumping off of one of the lava rafts and onto a gently sloping hill. And then he turns back to Anakin, who's still floating on the lava, and says, "It's over. I have the higher ground."
Oh my god, he didn't get the line right. No, Matt, time out. The line is, "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground, not higher ground." Oh my god.
The fact that Obi-Wan Kenobi is slightly elevated over Anakin is supposed to somehow mean that he automatically wins the fight?
No. The point of that scene is that it's basically the scene. It's the scene before Anakin gets his arm and legs lobbed off. It's basically supposed to show that it's basically Obi-Wan preying or playing on Anakin's hot-headedness and his arrogance, because keep in mind that at this point Anakin is like hot, he's like high on the dark side, like now at this point. He's basically saying, it's like, he even says it, like, "Obi-Wan, you underestimate my power." And so basically Obi-Wan's like, "Don't try it." And then of course, Anakin hops over, but it's basically it's Obi-Wan basically playing on that, because Anakin thinks he's basically, hot stuff. They're on the lava planet after all. It's Anakin thinking he's super cool, Mr. Badass. I can kill everyone. I killed all these Jedi before, and I'm gonna kill you too. And then Obi-Wan proving, like, no, you can't. And when Anakin buys into that, he basically, wins the fight then and there, basically. So that's the whole shtick right there, Matt. How'd you miss that?
That Anakin just 5 seconds earlier had leapt like 30 feet in the air with effortless ease. So even if the higher ground is decisive, he could easily just jump higher than Obi-Wan Kenobi was standing.
I already pointed that out.
Or he could walk up the hill and continue fighting. This is a wide hill. Anakin could jump to any spot on the hill where his opponent is not standing.
Oh my
or he could
God.
float down a ways and jump onto a different hill and then continue the fight. There is no reason why Obi-Wan Kenobi standing on a hill should have ended the fight, unless Anakin did the one thing he decided to do, which was to jump directly over Obi-Wan's head so you could just casually reach up and cut his legs off.
Well, you also have to remember that Obi-Wan taught Anakin how to fight, so naturally he'd know what Anakin would do in that scenario. You know what I'm saying, Dad? And also to add to his point about why they go to a lava planet, dude, we have to establish how Anakin got burned so he can get put into the Vader suit somehow, some way in this film. So there's another reason we had to go to a lava planet. But anyway,
and that's how it ends. The whole sequence with Anakin just presenting his legs to be cut off. Here you go. It made no sense. Also, there's this
he
problem.
Didn't literally do that,
thing.
my guy.
The whole reason that Anakin turns to the dark side is because he had his visions that his wife Padme was going to die. Ovaltine promises him that if he goes to the dark side, he can stop his wife from dying. And then, which by the way is not a bad concept. Like that idea is not a bad idea. Right. And then right before the final battle, Anakin seemingly chokes her to death himself. And this could work in a tragic sense. He turned to the dark side to save his wife, but then he ended up killing her. Except the problem is that for some reason, we learn in the next scene that he didn't kill his wife. The doctors tell us that his wife did not sustain any physical damage at all, yet she was still dying of a broken heart or something. So rather than having
she was also giving childbirth during that scene, and she was under a lot of and he just said, like, her windpipe just recently got crushed, still recovering from that. And basically, and yeah, she's under like a lot of emotional duress, so obviously she's not gonna, so that's basically why she died. It was mainly the childbirth, basically, is why she died.
Tragic ending of Anakin killing the woman who he was supposedly trying to protect.
Didn't kill her,
for some reason, Lucas pulls the punch so that the whole choking incident was irrelevant. And now we have Padme giving up on life because her lame goth boyfriend turned evil. So instead of her dying a tragic death, she turns out to be a selfish coward who's not motivated to live.
Oh, that is not how that scene played out. It's like my guy, seriously, put yourself in her shoes for a minute. She just lost her husband to frickin' evil. He committed a lot of like atrocious acts that would get any man, like, worse than the death sentence normally. She now has 2 kids she has to raise by herself, and her whole job has just been, and basically her job is like being a senator is now that she's gonna have to like serve under an empire she doesn't want to serve under. So I think any woman would be absolutely sad and unburdened by that. You know what I'm saying?
The 2 children she just,
like, come on, man. It's like he has to have more sympathy than this, Dad. Like that is, he has to have more sympathy in all his other videos like this, right?
Not really, no.
Oh my god. Well, there we go. Well, between this the way he's acting about this and the way he quote unquote jokes about punishing his kids, I think his critics are pretty even-handed in their criticism of him being a bad dad and husband. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
gave birth to. And then we cut to the next scene where Darth Vader finds out that Padme died and then throws his hands in the air and shouts, "No."
He didn't throw his hands in the air. His hands were like this, like right here as he shouted, "No." Come on, man.
Atrocious writing from George Lucas.
Dad, I'm beginning to think that he was watching this whole movie while he was playing on his phone. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only answer I have as to why he's getting a lot of this wrong in his review, basically. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Dozens of potentially profound and interesting ways to have this character respond to this news. Instead, Lucas beats you over the head with the cliche sledgehammer, literally having a character throw his arms in the air and shout "no." I've never seen anyone do that in real life, ever. It just doesn't happen. So anyway, the point is, at this point, the promise that Ovaltine made to Vader has been revealed to be a lie. So
also, on that point, it's like, I've never seen anyone throw their hands in the air. Hey, Matt, Charles de Gaulle would like a word with you, because that guy did that a lot during his speeches. You know what I'm saying, Dad? But anyway.
Why does Vader stay loyal to him? There's no reason. The entire narrative motivation for this character's transformation was yanked away at the last minute.
Dude, he lost. So Palpatine just told him right then and there that he just killed his wife. He didn't really, but he told him that. So whatever. So he lost his wife. Thinks he lost his kids with her, because he doesn't know that Luke and Leia survived at this point. Lost his kids with her. He killed all of his buddies in the Jedi Order, and pretty much he already lost his mom in the previous movie. He has like next to nothing left at this point, and all he has to do, the only thing he really can do at that point is serve Palpatine pretty much by that point. So I don't know why the heck, like, he thinks, like, Anakin has nothing left to do by this point. You know what I'm saying, Dad? Like, I don't know about you, Dad, but if I were in Anakin's spot, I'd be like, well, I've already dug my hole this much, might as well dig it some more. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
And there's no attempt to deal with that problem at all. So the acting is bad, the script is bad, the action's bad, the story's bad. What can this movie hang its hat on? We can't even give it marks for tone, because tonally the film's also a disaster. It's written and acted like a campy, cheesy comedy. It has old guys doing backflips with laser swords, but at the same time, George Lucas wants it to be like this dark operatic masterpiece. He even has Anakin slaughter a whole room full of children. No, I have no issue with your villain doing something heinous, but you can't have a campy, cheesy movie that's also dark and also features the mass murder of kids. Like, all of those notes together make not for a symphony, but
well, who are you to decide that, man? But anyways, I'm just going to call it quits early here, Dad. But anyways, so, Dad, final thoughts on this video, Dad?
This is not the reason I tune in to Matt Walsh. Mm-hmm. I don't care what he thinks about movies. Movies are fantasy. Everyone has, I should say, most movies, especially those of the Star Wars genre, are pure fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Everyone's going to have their own opinion of it, good, bad, or otherwise. Apparently, Matt's opinion is not very high.
Yeah. Well, speaking, basically, I think we all know my final thoughts. My final thoughts: he's horribly misinformed about the movie. He didn't even really seem to like. He barely got anything right in this movie. He just seems like an out of touch boomer who, is so old school that he can't possibly engage with anything past like when he was a kid, like stargazing. He basically seems like the worst dad ever. So sorry to all the little Walshes in his family. And basically, it's like, and basically, I think, like, just based on this, I haven't seen his other movie reviews, but based on this and what Dad has said about his movie reviews, like, he should really just stick to politics, because it's obvious that the movie reviews aren't working out for him. You know what I'm saying, Dad? Like, just stick to politics. He should just stick in his lane. You know what I'm saying?
Again, that's your opinion. You know the old saying about opinions.
Yeah, everyone's got them, but Matt's opinions stink the most. But that's all we got for you today, folks. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment below your thoughts, subscribe for more videos like this, and we'll see you guys next time in the backseat. Take care!